Today we're going to take a look at our special set summary and check out some of the changes of the last week for our top special sets. Recently we had Ascended Heroes drop, and there has been obviously a ton of stock flooding the market and a ton of sales volumes on the ETB. So hitting almost 1900 ETB sales in the last week alone, driving the price down around $13 market price. We've also had a pretty stark increase in prismatic market price, a lot of attention over there, as well as with all of the new leaks for 30th anniversary and some announcements for 30th anniversary. Celebrations has had a new high level of focus, with 74 ETBs selling in just a week and the market price driving up $11. A lot of attention is in celebrations. You can see from a growth perspective, celebrations 4x this week versus last week. A lot of volume and a lot of attention that headed that way, as well as kind of taking some of the attention off the hype sets like 151 and Paldean Fates as of late. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ascended Heroes first. We have the Gengar holding price really well at $900, and surprisingly enough, an ETB case is only $1,300, right around 130 per ETB, which isn't that much of a sealed premium. And I'm just guessing that because of the massive volume that we've seen of ETBs going on TCG Player and getting dropped in Walmart and just botted like crazy. A lot of scalpers are dumping product, and it's kind of driving the case price down as well. So if we take a look at the ETB itself, market price sitting right around 112, tons of volume in the last few days, over 1,000 in the middle of last week, and some of the recent sales here today are at 119, 110, 115. I'm sure this 105 had some shipping, and probably that $100 one did as well. And if we go ahead and take a peek at low list, looks like 114, 115 for your first legitimate ETB. So, dang, this guy has 42 at $115. So that should be somewhat of a sticking point for the market price. Probably won't see it drop too much lower, but if it does, I think that would be a pretty good buy. I'm sure there's going to be wave 2 of ETBs dropping eventually. If it drops the market price down below $100, would be a very good target to buy for the long term. Now, if we take a look at Prismatic, Prismatic Evolutions has seen a lot of sales volume recently and a decent increase in market price on the ETB. So in the last week, Prismatic Evolutions has seen a lot of sales volume, 103 last week and 145 during this past week. And checking out the market price, it went from 147 all the way up to 168. You have nearly a $20 jump in market price, and currently looks like low list for the ETB is at 174, market price at 169, and there is a large amount here in this on this seller, 29. But if you clear out some of those smaller ones, the next real big ones are in the 180, 190 range. Nobody more than 10. You're at $200. Like, it wouldn't take but a couple weeks to kind of clear out all these sub $200 ETBs. And obviously that's a lot of hype for a set that still has quite a bit of print run left in it if they wanted to reprint. But I do think we're going to see much less prismatic reprints this year compared to last year. Now, if we head over to celebrations, a lot of 30th anniversary hype as that's quickly approaching. And it seems like some people thought this was a really good buying opportunity. And I'm sure we'll probably see some people take advantage of this spike and put out, some quick flips. But we saw this buyout last week, 65 ETBs sold in just a 2-day range, where previously we were selling, somewhere around 10 to 5, most 2-day ranges there. So on a daily basis, you're just probably averaging 2, and then 65 sell in one day. So a clear buyout that drove the price up. Not a significant amount, just a couple dollars, but signaled my sheet with this extreme volume growth that attention is headed this way. And we've seen just in the past month up 16%. Past 3 months, celebrations is up 33%. And obviously over the past year, just insane how much this has gotten hype. And that's just kind of what happens when anniversaries come up, right? So low list, just under $300 with some damage, and then you're very quickly up into 315 and up after 2 ETBs. So I think the main driver here is that there are not a ton of these that are actually listed for sale. Not a lot of stock out there, but there's probably quite a few people sitting on these in their closet. So whenever it's time to sell, you definitely could see a retracement after some of this hype dies down. Now we take a look at Crown Zenith, an incredible set with actually some really nice top chases in the gold cards and the Mewtwo V-Star. And a lot of attention is on the ETB as of late. We saw a pretty decent sales volume in the past week, and you could see a couple spikes of 10 and 7 sales recently, as well as an 8% increase in the last month, 30% increase in price over the last 3 months, with the market price surging over $250. And low list right now is at $275. So again, just one, the best special set of Sword and Shield, and one of the most fun sets to open. Obviously a great investment opportunity, and a lot of people know it. A lot of people are taking advantage. 116% growth in the last year. Pretty insane for Crown Zenith. Now, Shrouded Fable. I'm interested to see how Shrouded Fable ages. It's not rotating out in this block, but it will eventually, right? These cards will eventually rotate out, and they'll no longer be playable, including Pheasantipity, which is one of the more popular playable cards ever in Scarlet and Violet. Probably. I don't play, but I know it's up there, and there's a reason that the Pheasantipity EXs are still so expensive. So obviously some of these playable cards are definitely propping up the price of the packs and thus some of these boxes. Once this rotates out, it might drop some of these prices. Same with Monkey Dory. I'm sure Horsey and Houndoom and Duskull will still stay pretty valuable, as well as obviously the SIR collection boxes, right? These are going to be very expensive for a very long time, regardless of the packs in them, because the promos are so good. But if we take a look at the ETB, there actually has been some decent sales in the last few days, averaging probably 3 or so this month. Even though the price has gone down in the last month, it's actually stayed relatively flat over the last 3 months, and just a slight increase in the last 6 months, but up 42% over the year. So I don't think this is much of an opportunity for investment, obviously, but People are still going to want it. They're going to want to collect every Scarlet and Violet ETB, and it still will probably go up very slowly over time. Plenty available. You can buy low list at $82, which kind of surprising actually, that there isn't anything lower considering the market price is at 73. So even with that price dip for Shrouded Fable, still not much of a deal to be had. The market price went down, but there aren't any listings even close to market right now. And I don't really expect to see anything like that in the future or really want to buy any regardless. The last set that I would like to take a look at is actually Paldean Fates. Paldean Fates is going to be rotating out here in April, and we can see that the MUEX is sitting right at 500 for the cheapest near mint, and market price at 515. We've seen an odd dip. Looks like we had some weird maybe damaged cards sell or something at a low price that's influenced the market price, but a lot of retracement in the last 6 months and in the last year from the hype and the all-time highs of nearly $700. But this card is going to rotate out here in just 2 months, less than that. It's like 6 or 7 weeks. This does seem like a really good opportunity. I don't foresee this card getting any cheaper than $500. It's simply too popular. It's an iconic card for the era. And if it's one that you've always wanted, this might be the best chance you get to buy one at a decent price. You can get one for under $500 in near mint condition. As well as the ETB, there hasn't been many sales and really a very flat price graph over the last few weeks, and even the last month it's only up 1.6%, and I'm guessing this is just a difficult box to come by, and it's very expensive, right? Already $300 when it still is technically in print for another few weeks. We're obviously not going to be getting any reprints more than likely, but not a lot of attention on Paldean Fates. Meanwhile, 151 is still climbing. I think this could be a pretty good opportunity, and by the end of the year, would not be surprised if this was a $400 ETB. With that being said, let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Ascended Heroes will match the expectations of being the next Prismatic or the next 151? Personally, I think the set is insane, and I'm definitely going to be looking for investment opportunities on Ascended Heroes in the future.